Well, hey there, everyone. Have you reminded yourself who you are today? Because you should probably get on that. Continue watching the video, but remind yourself who you are today. So, today I kind of want to go into outside influences when it comes to a mindset and manifestation type journey. Now, I'm not the type of person, I'm not the type of coach that is going to call you out on beliefs. I'm not very much into you have to do it this way or else crap's going to happen. No, I'm never going to do that. I'm only going to nudge you or be a little bit sassy or caring, obviously, if I find that a belief system or action is doing harm to yourself, those around you, or is limiting, you know? And even then, there's always a middle ground where you can still keep certain parts of the belief, but most of it is not helping that new version of you achieving what you want, right? So, this brings me to my story. So, the other day, I was on a coaching call, and this person has been with me before, and they were doing quite well. And I had to spend that entire coaching call, half an hour, soothing them because they were absolutely distraught and paranoid because they heard it's Mercury retrograde. Now, I like astrology quite a bit. I think it's fascinating. I like the correlations in some things. But as a rule, if something is making you like that, absolutely questioning to the point of breaking down or being paranoid, looking over your shoulder, and you're finding it hard to return to that ideal version of you, it's time to reevaluate. Okay? Because I literally did EFT with her. I did a mini meditation with her. I'm gonna give her a free session because we didn't really get to what she actually wanted to talk about. But like I say, if it's not serving this version of you, the version that you deem as the authentic version of you experiencing what you want out of life, then you have two options. You can take a look at that belief and say, you know what, I still believe in this, but I'm going to flip it. Okay, so with a Mercury retrograde type thing, I would say, I know it's said there's a lot of recourse and there's a lot of self involvement and mishaps and all of this. Well, instead of believing in that, why don't you say, I know I can acknowledge that that's what happens to other people, sure, but for me, it's my luckiest time. Everything comes together during that time. The other thing that you could do is say, this belief system, it might have helped me in the past, but it's not helping me now, especially if it's making me feel absolute dread. Okay? And we do have belief systems that are kind of rattling around. Sometimes we're not even aware of them. Sometimes it's not even a conscious thing that we hear or see. It's just something that we picked up along the way. And you can do a little self concept type exercise to suss things out. But at the end of the day, you really have to ask yourself, does it belong to this version of you that you want to emulate, that you want to be, to experience what you want out of life? Okay? Because a mindset switch and manifestation should never be a chore and should never draw things out for you. It's just thinking, it's just you. And eventually, the new will just become you, but you have to let it. And if you are consuming TikToks or other places, and they are bringing you down instead of lifting you up, then maybe it's time to take a break or maybe adjust who you're watching or the frequency. It's just, we should never let things get to us to that extent. You know what I mean? So please treat yourself gentle and suss out those belief systems. Really ask yourself, is this serving me? Because if it's not, it's time to let her go. Because that's the whole point of all this. Okay? It's being that authentic version of you. And you can't be authentic if you're constantly putting your focus where it shouldn't be, where it doesn't really belong. That belongs to another version of you. They can do all that. You know what I mean? So you're doing better than you think. If you need a hand, I'm here. But otherwise, keep going, because what you want is inevitable.